everyone, today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's not something I usually talk about here. I mean, I kind of mention it here and there, but it's not something I really talk about. But it's something that affects me a lot, and it's affecting a lot of people, especially in America. I know it does in other countries as well, but it's a big kind of topic of debate, if you will, in America, and it's my student debt. And I knew I had student loans. I chose to go out of state for my undergrad degree, and I went to the University of Florida, and I'm very happy I did. I don't regret that decision at all. I have, like I mentioned a lot, I have my diploma right here. Look, we'll do a little pan. There's my diploma. You want to see Kanga? Kanga's taking a nap. There's some coffee too. But, like, I love that I went to Florida. I feel like I got a lot of benefit out of it. I have no regrets. But because I did go to out of state, I went to college out of state, I have a lot of debt. And I knew it. And I was like, okay. And I had like a number. Well, I'll just tell you, because I'm going to tell you how much debt I have, and it's stupid. I thought I had about $80,000 of debt. And that's ridiculous. And then I've recently had to fight with both of the debt, because I have two separate student loans, and they're with two companies. And I had to fight with them because they were trying to get me to start paying back my loans, because it's really, I'm sorry, I hate when people mess with their hair. It's really, really dumb, but in the way that people, they define whether or not you're a student in grad school is by how many hours of classes you're taking. In grad school, you don't take classes every single semester, at least not in my grad school, because I'm doing a thesis-based, research-based master's program. So last semester, I didn't take any classes. This semester, I'm taking 1 hour of class, but I'm at school. I usually get there around 11, and I leave around 8:30. So I'm at school all day, and I'm not complaining, but it's because I'm, analyzing all the data I've collected. I'm writing my thesis. I'm trying to make a presentation for my thesis defense. There's a lot going on, and I'm funded, luckily, which is a huge deal, but I legally cannot have another job, and I don't have time. So they were like, oh, you're not really a student. And so I've been having to argue with them. And in that back and forth, I realized, whichever word you want to use, how much debt I actually have. And it's $125,000 of debt. Now, that's a lot. That's a house of debt. And again, I don't regret going to University of Florida. I love that I went there. I feel like I got a lot of great opportunities going there. I am really, really happy where I am now. I am finishing up my master's degree. I am hoping to get a PhD. Nothing is set in stone yet. And part of the reason I'm so stressed out about my PhD is because once you're out of school for 6 months, you have to start paying back those loans. I cannot afford to pay back those loans right now. Now, in the end day, I do believe I'll be able to pay them back eventually. I mean, and maybe that's me being really naive, but I do plan on being a professor, which generally make decent money. And besides that, it's just what I love, and I know that I want to be a professor, and to be a professor, you have to have a PhD, so I'm going to continue my education. But the longer I'm deferring these loans, the more debt is accruing as well. And because of that, that means that by the time I finish, I'll probably, I don't know, because I don't know all my debt, all my interest rates, because each loan has a different interest rate. And each loan I took at a separate time, because you take it out by semester. So I don't know exactly how much I owe or how much I will owe, but I would guess it'll be close to $200,000 by the end of this. And John and I are planning on, getting married, having a honeymoon, having children, having a house, doing the whole life thing. And it's very hard to plan things like that when you know you have all of this debt. And I really want to talk about it because it's scary. And it's something that I've really been confronted with. And on top of all of that, I look around and I'm like, I don't have to pay them back right now. And I know that. But I look around and I'm like, some of these things that I have, I could have spent that money towards my debt. And I probably should have. And one of the biggest things for me is my makeup collection. And I'm not saying I regret having my makeup collection. This makeup makes me happy. Whether that sounds really materialistic or dumb or vain or whatever other negative words you want to use, I get you, but it does. It makes me happy. I love sitting here putting on my makeup every day. It's like my time for me and only me and not worrying about anything else, and I don't have to think about anything. I can just have some fun. So I don't regret having it. I don't regret the amount that I have because I just don't. But I said in a video recently, I could not buy makeup for a really long time and probably not run out of anything. The only thing that I might run out of is a setting spray and a primer. And maybe lip liner eventually. But I have a lot. Eyeshadows, I'm good. If you want to see how much, I did a makeup inventory and I'll link it below. Because I try to be really honest with y'all on this channel. I have over 1,000 eyeshadows. And I also realized that getting so much all the time makes you so much less grateful when you get something. If that makes sense. And that's terrible. And I've gotten pretty good about cutting back in most areas of my life. But this is one that I've been trying to, and I kind of recently made a video, and I'll link it below too, about my makeup buying plan for 2018. And I thought that was a good one, and then I realized how much debt I had, and I'm like, no, that's not acceptable either. So I'll be updating that video, which I know is super annoying, but I need to, because it's just not realistic. And I feel like it's something that's really easy to not think about. It's really easy to be like, oh, I owe this money, it's back in the back of my head, I'll pay it off eventually, who cares, who cares. But when you're confronted with how much you owe, it's scary. And again, I'm not making a political statement here. I know that there is a lot of argument for free education in the United States. And I don't know how I feel about that. And I talk a lot, like I recently made some videos about some of my opinions about certain like makeup things. And I talk a lot about, in those things that aren't near as serious as this, that in order to make a judgment or an assumption or choose a side of an argument, you need to really understand both sides. And I firmly believe that. And I feel like I do understand both sides of the argument, and I can't decide where I stand. So I'm not going to say I stand one way or the other. I understand that, yeah, it would be great to not have all of the student debt, for sure. But I also understand what that can do to the education system. And I hope to be professor one day. And you can't be professor and have, you know, it changes a lot of things. So I'm not really sure where I stand on that, if we're being totally honest. So I'm not trying to make a political statement in that way. All I'm trying to say is I have a lot of debt and it scares the crap out of me. And I do believe, maybe naively, like I said, that one day I'll be able to pay it off. You know, I love what I do. I'm a marine biologist. I think I've said that. I don't know if I have, but I am. And I love it. And it's the most amazing, rewarding, fulfilling job I could ever imagine. And I love it. And I want to be a professor, and I want to be able to do research and teach students and get students to love science the way I do, because science is the coolest thing in the world. It's amazing. So I love what I do, and I don't regret it. And I do believe that eventually I'll be able to pay off those loans. But I want to start thinking about it now while I can, because it's going to get harder and harder. Because, yeah, I'll be making more money, because I don't make very much money right now. I'm a grad student. Trust me, our salary, if you will, even being funded, is laughable. We're barely above the poverty line. And that's okay. I'm not complaining because I'm funded and I get to do what I love, and that's fine. I can pay my bills, I can make it work. But even though I don't have very much money, it's easier to pay stuff now than in 10 years when we've got, you know, kids and a house payment and all of that. So I am going to be changing my makeup buying plan again, which again I know is annoying. But I'll be making a different video about that. And I just want to be really cognizant of where I'm spending my money. Because I don't want to spend money unless it's on something that I need. Like, no, toothpaste. Okay, I need that. I don't want to be spending, like, I've recently been buying a lot of skincare from Sephora, and I like that. And I do think there's a difference. But until I've tried everything in the drugstore level, I don't need to be spending that much money. You know what I'm saying? So, like, buying things that I need and trying to, like, get the more budget-friendly options. And, you know, I don't want to spend money on clothes. Which I haven't really. I'm pretty good about not buying clothes. I don't go out to eat that often unless I'm with John. Like, I am about spending money on experiences. Like, John and I, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen, yesterday, we went to tea. And it was so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. And, sorry, I gotta press that little button. I don't regret that one bit, because it's an experience, and it's something that we remember, and it's something that we did together. And I love that. And I'm cool with that. Like, I'm going on a cruise this summer because it's my best friend's bachelorette party. I'm in her wedding. Things that are experiences, that's a very different thing, and I can spend money on that right now. But things that are just things, I don't want to spend money on. I really don't. I'm not trying to be a minimalist. Let me clarify. Not my intention. And it's not I'm overwhelmed by how much I have. I think I have too much. It's not really even that. It's I owe a lot of money and I need to stop spending money in ways that aren't very wise. That's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different. And I'm not trying to scare people. I'm not trying to tell you don't go to college or don't. Like I said, I am very happy of where I went to school. I am very blessed that I got to go to this really amazing university. And I did get half of it paid for. You may or may not believe that knowing how much debt I have. But I actually got a scholarship for $76,000. So I did have a lot paid for even that way. It's just, it's a lot. And it's something that you, even if you don't have to really deal with it now, I want to be cognizant of it now. And if I have a little bit of money left over at the end of the month, instead of being like, ooh, I want to buy this, I want to do that, I want to go ahead and pay a little bit towards my loans. Because even if I'm only paying like $100, which $100 is a significant amount of money, but considering it's $125,000, it's like, oh, that doesn't do that much. But when you consider that's $100 I've already paid, and that's not going to be accruing interest every year, it does make a little bit of a difference. A little bit of one, but still a little bit of one. So that's kind of my plan. And so I did just make an order because I ran out of something, which was kind of my deal with myself last time. But I'll be talking about that in another video. So I hope you liked it. I'm not trying to like tell you all my business or but it's something that I'm dealing with. And I think it's something that a lot of people are dealing with. And it's something that people need to think about. And because it matters. It's like, yeah, I'm still in school and I can defer these loans. And I can defer these loans hopefully for the next 6 years while I get my PhD. But then after that, I still do have to pay them. Eventually, those loans must be paid off. And again, it's an investment in my future and what I love. And without that degree, I could not be doing what I'm doing now. So I don't regret it. And I'm not trying to dissuade people from going to school, ever. Because I want to be a professor, and I love school, and I love science. But just something that we should think about. Pretty much all I have for you. I feel like I'm getting redundant. So with that, I would love to hear y'all's opinions, what y'all are dealing with. If y'all have any suggestions about how I can kind of cut back here and there, I'm really trying to, but I'm always down for hearing from y'all. And yeah, with that, please leave me any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. Talking to y'all is one of my favorite things about anything. And this is not necessarily super beauty related, but it will affect my beauty channel. And it's just life. And that's what we're here to talk about, is to kind of talk about life and what we're going to do. So, yeah, I'll just see y'all real soon. Bye.